be like.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Blue, and I'm back in the building, okay? Tonight, I have very special guests, the Portah family. They're in the building right now. How do y'all feel?
Very good, very well.
Very
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, I'm so excited to be having you all. And I got...
It's Barry Media.
Barry Media, he's back in the building. He's been one of my co-hosts a couple of times. They asked him to come back on for this special segment. So tonight we have the Portah family in the building, and they will be talking about poly relationships. And a lot of people, when I posted this online, a lot of people was like, poly relationship? Like, some people was like, what is that? What does that consist of? And that's what you're here tonight, because I don't know everything either but what I read online. So let's start.
Yes.
What is a poly relationship?
It's broken down to many different things. Usually I like to just put polyamory at the top because it breaks down into so many different dynamics, which is also there's polygamy, which is different from polyamory, but you can still coincide the two. You have polygyny, which is a man with multiple wives. You have polyandry, which is a woman with multiple husbands. And when you go back to polyamory, it gets defined into so many different dynamics. Now you have the popular one that's taking over, everybody's looking at, is the throuple, the triad, which is a man with two women or a woman with two men. You also have polyQ, you have solo poly, you have it breaks down to so many things.
Wow.
There's so many options there for people. It's just to stay honest, true, honest, transparency, love, commitment, establishing many relationships and giving more love.
Wow, you got me when you said so quadro, like it's four.
Polyquad, yeah.
Polyquad.
And polyQ, yeah, polyQ where it could break down to 2 and 2 and then add another person.
Oh my God. You should see the look on his face right now.
You know what? I'm going back to like grade school when you learn about the fractions, and it's like it breaks down like that's what it's like. Okay, so we start here and it breaks off here, and then
he's really
3/4.
Oh my God. So your family, you're not in the quad, right?
No.
Explain which one you are into.
We're a throuple. It's just us three. We're close. You have to say close because if you say open, you can't have open triads, open whatever, and that lets people know that the people are still open to actually see other people, but their main form, the core of the relationship will be among them three. So when we say close, it's just us three, nobody, no more.
Okay. Because that was one of my questions was because you're in a poly relationship, explaining to people that you don't go outside of your relationship. So you're not. I'm not going to say allowed, but the point of having a poly relationship is not that you can continue. You all can date multiple people, correct?
Yes.
So you cannot go outside of this union with the three.
When we say close, yes. Now this is a union. This is between us three. We're establishing. We're building. We're a family. We're a tribe. It's just us three and nobody else.
And I mean, like, you can go outside of the relationship, but it breaks the commitment that you guys have made between each other.
Yeah.
Didn't I say that on the way over here? I said you have to have communication and draw everything out on a line and have parameters and kind of like set rules, or else it's not going to work. And then, it's like, where's the trust? Just like in any other relationship.
Yes.
But if somebody was to step outside of that, then
there's cheating in poly.
There's cheating in poly.
Some people still lie. They still put that deceit. Even though you have the open option there, they still turn around and still cheat. It's just too much. It's overwhelming at times.
Wow.
Yeah.
and once people find out that you're polyamorous or you're in this lifestyle, the first thing they think is, oh, okay, they're free game.
And I can see that. Yeah.
So let me shoot my shot right now. And no matter what the dynamic of the relationship is, you always have those outsiders trying to shoot their shot because they think, oh, okay, well, they're freaks and they have whips and chains and they're willing to do whatever we want them to do. They're just like a sexual play toy. But it's not like that. I mean, like, the poly relationship is based more off of building a family, trust, and building a bond with each other than the sexual desire in it.
Yes.
Right. I mean, of course, the the whips and chains and the freaky stuff and the cream that's for you three.
Yeah,
not
correct.
extra people. So,
Right.
because my people is freaky, and I know they is listening like, no. So
Yeah,
y'all don't have no chance. Okay, I'm letting y'all know. Yeah, that's not what this poly thing is about. It's just over here. Y'all, I think we have tickled his fancy because I've never seen you this quiet, bro.
Well, because I'm learning. You
Well,
know, I didn't
ask
get a
on
chance
because
to do
they're
a lot of
here
research.
and they're
The week
teaching
has
you.
been crazy. No, I'm you know me. I like to sit back and just absorb, and then ask my stuff. That's how.
I need you. I need you to, because see, I don't want him to leave tonight and be asking. I should have asked this now because they here.
Yeah.
So
I figured from the get go, communication had to be key.
I mean,
Yeah,
he did
okay.
say that. How do y'all deal with
that?
that? Because it's two women, right?
Yes.
It's two women, and can you say your name again?
Shalon.
Shalon, such a pretty name.
Thank
Shalon, I want to ask you. How is the communication with the other woman? Are you friends? How does that go?
Well, we are sister wives together.
Okay. I've heard of that term.
And we're working on our communication because as it's known, like most women who get into this, it's always based solely off of one person. So they're used to dealing with that one person. Now you open up the dynamics and there's somebody else in that situation. You have to figure out, okay, what do they like, what they don't like.
Right.
This is the button that gets pushed really quick. Okay, don't push that button because you know what? It's going to turn into turmoil and it's somewhere where you don't want to take it.
Relearning a whole new person.
Yeah, so it's like relearning a whole new significant
It's relearning
other.
Basically everybody, because when you bring in somebody else, first their challenge is to learn the husband and wife. This is the person coming in. Mm-hmm. And then the husband and wife has to turn around and learn this individual, but also relearn each other, watching them coexist with another person.
Right.
So, and establish. So it's all a learning situation.
It's a learning situation, and you got to have a strong mind, because do anybody get jealous, though?
Yes.
Because we women, look, Shalon,
Yes.
I'm just giving you, Shalon, we women. When you see the other woman with them and they just seem like they having so much fun, do you ever look like, girls?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay,
All the time.
and that's very real of you. So you do get upset
and
or
that's
jealous
all the time. But then I have to take a step back and realize the choice that I've made to be in the relationship and the dynamic that I'm in, and also realize that this person in my relationship has equally as much love for the person that I'm with. So it's not like I'm giving up something. It's like I'm getting more
love.
Yeah, more love.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. We're going to get ready and go on a quick break for that one. I hope everybody is tuning in. I have been promoting the new app. It's so dope, and I'm not just saying that because I work up here. I actually downloaded the app a few days ago, and I've been listening to the shows as I go. So you can actually be doing other things on your phone and streaming it, and you can still hear everything. And I thought that's what I thought was cool, because I like when the apps work like that. So download the Street 100 The Heat radio app on your device so that you can listen in to these interviews, because it's dope. And I have the Portah family with me. If you want to call in and ask a question, the lines are open, 832-975-8100, and just give us a call, because we all have answers and they hear. And once they leave, you can find them on Instagram, but you need to ask while we're all at the radio station.
Exactly.
So you're vibing with Miss Blue.
Questions in
Yeah,
now.
get your questions in. You're vibing with Miss Blue on Street 100 The Heat, the hottest independent radio station in Houston, Texas. We'll be right back going into He Be Like by Ken the Man out of Houston, y'all. Like this song.
Difficulties there.
Jeez.
I was just texting you saying, hey, I think something's wrong.
I know, right? Well, me and P-Man was trying to figure it out. I don't know what's going on tonight, but
yeah, I heard his voice in there.
Yes, they are here, and whatever question you got, we want to hear it.
Okay, so my question was, and I think probably a lot of people want to know, maybe they're scared to ask, is individually, for the people that you do have there, you have 2 or 3, right?
2.
Okay, all right. Individually, if they might, be inclined to answer, what made each of them choose this lifestyle? That's the question I think a lot of people want to know the answer to.
We had joked about it. Well, we had threesomes before. We had joked about it. And the joke came from watching the show. It was Shameless. It was the throuple on there. We're like, hey, we'll do it, whatever. We love to explore the sexuality behind everything, and the extraness. And we before we even knew what it was, that's when we started doing it with Chantel. And then that's when we started learning more about the lifestyle and learning more about what this was. The challenges made it difficult, but the love was there among all three of us as we were going through all the challenges and overcoming them. That's what keeps us continuing because of that relationship right there with us.
It's the willingness to want to know your partner or your partners. The moment you stop wanting that willingness or that moment to connect and get to know that individual deeper, then the relationship stops right there.
Yeah. And before it started, we had a 17-year marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So commitment to each other and overcoming challenges was nothing to us, and it brought more excitement. I wouldn't sit there and say, the relationship exploded, bring the person in, and it was that. It did make things more kind of exciting, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it brought more. It brought more fun in the bedroom, of course.
He said that with a really big smile.
But of course, it made things interesting. It kept things going, and we've been so many years now with all three of us. It's still positive. It still keep going. Okay. Of course, we have our issues, our our challenges we have to overcome, but we've been doing it as a team and as a unit. So it's been a beautiful thing.
All right. So they answered
So I was gonna say, from what it sounds like, it just really strengthened it. And from what I was listening to before, it's more for you guys. It was more than a sexual thing. It's more of building a bond with someone else. Because you even just reiterated that just a minute ago when you were speaking. So I think that's an excellent answer. I think that'll help people understand. For people that don't have any history with it or have studied it in any capacity. I have an understanding. I studied it in college, so I get it.
Thank you so much.
But I think that's a question that a lot of people want to have the answer.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fancy.
All right, I love you guys. Talk to you later.
Love you too, girl. Bye.
They was calling. They calling. Keep calling.
Street 100 The Heat. Radio is Miss Blue. Hi.
I've been
Hi.
watching your family. How are you?
Finding yourself.
I'm good. I really enjoy watching your family. I just want to know how you all overcame, if there were any jealousy issues. How do you handle that?
That right there, you have to embrace it. You have to notice the jealousy. We have to notice all our emotions when they're going on. There's no way you're going to stop those jealous moments. We just have to take recognition of what's going on and handle them in our own personal way. That's one big thing, especially amongst the women, with Shalon and Chantel, because they will have their moments. And I'll take notice, or, I'll sometimes, rarely, but I'll have my moments too. And they'll just take recognition, and they'll give me my time, because I understand they both love me. We all love each other. But it's just kind of like, man, I just want that right there. But we have to take recognition and embrace it that we are going there. You can't stop that. We're human. You know what I mean? But the better we learn how to control it, and we learn how to actually adjust out of it for the bigger picture, logically, detach our feelings from the logic, is that we are in a relationship. This is something new, and this is a learning process. It does help. It doesn't take it all away, because, again, we are human, but we learn how to adapt better.
Okay.
How long would you say, realistically, so it take like a year or two? I hear you kind of saying like it never goes away, but I don't know. I guess it's different.
It all depends. Every day, you never know what's going to strike a nerve that's going to make you be like, oh my God, this is making me jealous. Different things come up daily that make us both feel certain type of ways, but we have to understand where we're at and the dynamic that we're in, and that we're here purely for love. So the jealousy that we see is that we can't do it at that point in time, but you have to understand that your partner is still getting that same amount of love, no matter if it's from you or not. So you got to be, understanding of that.
Yeah, I feel like I personally struggle with this portion of it so much. Me and my partner have been together for a year. He introduced polygamy, whatever, and I feel like every time we get that close, my emotions just get in the way. I don't know. I feel like I'm really struggling with that portion. I love him, and I want to be with him. However, I really feel like that portion of this process is very difficult. And I'm just looking like I'm watching all these different families, and I'm seeing people get along, and I'm like, is that realistic? Is there tears behind that? What happens? You have conversations. How do you get along with that other woman? Like, how do you really remove yourself so that way I could, because I really do want to be with him. Everything about me wants to be with him.
A lot of jealousy is taught to us when we're young. We're taught this is mine, you can't share, this is this, and it's solely for me. So once we learn to broaden our spectrum outside of what we were taught as children, then it's easier to let go of the jealousy. It's easier to let go of the envy. It's easier to put your ego down and realize that everybody's in it for the same common goal.
To unlearn and relearn, but you still take the emotion in. And then also, just one thing I always say to everybody is understand it's always self-choice. You have to have self-love first and foremost. Love yourself enough and be confident enough to know what's going on with the situation, and then take the feeling out of it. Think logically. We are a family. We are a community. We're a tribe. And this is what we do. The challenges that we're not only facing alone, we are facing together. And then also it is self-choice of what we're trying to do, and we have to love ourselves throughout this process.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, because I watched, I'm like, they have a really beautiful family. Because you look at a lot of people doing polygamy, and I'm like, that's kind of funny. I like this family. I don't like that family. And not that I don't like it, but maybe that way is just not for me. But you guys seem extremely genuine. So I was like, when I seen the number, I felt compelled to call because I struggle with it. I feel like sometimes it makes me have emotions, making me identify with, like you said, I guess it's selfish. Like, it's mine to love, not to share.
Yes.
I don't know. I struggle with that portion, really. Like, almost recently, we almost broke up behind it. But he didn't lie from the moment I met him. He told me I'm a polygamist. Maybe in my mind, I felt maybe this is going to go away, or, we'll be in love, and maybe he'll forget about it. But it didn't happen. And the only thing I guess I felt bad about, because he's the person that I met. He's everything he said he would be and more. And it's just unfair that I kind of keep coming up short in this area that I can't, I guess, I don't know. I just struggle with that whole jealous part. I really do. Really bad. So I guess I'm just calling to say I admire your family, and I admire that you're being open and honest with this, because I think a lot of people have relationships like this and they're just not honest about it. So I appreciate you guys being in the forefront and giving me a great example to look to, and especially the women. Like, it's so hard to, I feel maybe next year in this time I won't be in this frame of mind, but I really appreciate you all.
That's real.
It takes time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take care. All right. Bye.
Bye. Wow, so
that was deep.
They have a lot of questions though, because it's not something that you hear so many people talking about, or they not being honest about it. And like she said, they are already involved in something like that. And we got another call. Street 100, the heat is Miss Blue. How can I help you? Oh, caller. Hey, I'm gonna bring you online, okay? Hello, caller.
Yeah.
All right, we got you. Finding yourself. How you doing?
I'm good.
All right. You have a question for the Portahs? All right.
For sure. Oh man. What is one of y'all's biggest obstacles?
Our biggest obstacle would be the jealousy. It would be the jealousy. That's the biggest obstacle within everything to hold balance in, because like I said, the jealousy, the emotion, being there, it hinders up a lot. When we get stuck in our jealous emotions, sometimes we become distant, we seclude ourselves, and we have to fight that feeling. A lot of things between that, besides that, everything's kind of organic and natural. We all know how to communicate with each other. We know how to comprehend. We know how to, one thing I will say, when people communicate, don't hit triggers. Study your partners. Study your partner. You should always never study your partner. So everything else is kind of, calculated. You know how to actually do it. But certain things that you cannot stop, which will be emotions, because those are natural, you have to learn how they react towards them. So that will be the biggest challenge in being polyamorous, is learning when people are jealous, or learning when people want to try to take control of something. They have to really learn themselves and actually learn how to adapt and actually want to be a part of everything that they're doing with
you got to really learn how to read people's body language in this as well. So like, you know, when you with someone for so many years, you know what button is going to hit that Staples button and going to make them, you know, flip their stuff. So learning someone new, you got to read those signals too, because you don't really know what's ultimately going to push them fully to the left
for that day.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's true.
That'll be one challenge for people now. When the newcomers coming in, remember that the person coming in has two people to learn. The couple has to learn that new individual, and then you all have to learn each other a little bit over again, and always stay open-minded and honest and transparent throughout this whole journey.
Right. Okay. Caller?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, look, I'm trying to make sure you're still there, so it sounds like you got your answer, right? Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Favorite, right?
Huh?
I said, Miss Blue, you know you're my favorite.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. I sure appreciate that.
All righty.
All right, you have a good one.
That bro, I should have asked what that. I was recognizing the voice.
Street 100 The Heat Radio. It's Miss Blue.
What up?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, they can't hear
You want to go live with us? All right, one moment. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey, you there? Okay, good. Okay, what's your question?
Hi, this is a nice family.
I'm sorry. What's that?
How you doing? This is a nice family. We just wanted to call in.
Oh, hey, nice family.
Much love. Y'all shot us out earlier. Much love,
Hey.
y'all.
Thank you.
Much love, y'all. Thank you so much.
How you doing?
You're ready. We good, man. How's everybody up there doing?
We're doing great. We're just learning and just interested.
Yeah, they are
Same
another.
here, man. We calling in from New York, so me and the wives are here. So we just wanted to, wish
Hey,
y'all.
guys.
Okay, all the way from New York. Thank you.
Beautiful poly family. Yes,
They are.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. We follow y'all. We see, in and Alex, you always spitting that knowledge. So we always listening over on this, and
I
so
appreciate
we
that.
just wanted to shout y'all out and say thank y'all, and wish y'all the best, and hope y'all have a great show.
Ah, hey, dope. Yeah, they killing it already. So thank you so much, nice family.
You're ready. This app is lit, by the way. I'm just letting you know. We over here.
Now I'm gonna have to go check out the app because I ain't even got the app.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we listening in.
All right, thank you so much.
You're ready. Later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh yeah, I heard the new.
Oh, there you go. We calling.
Street 100 The Heat Radio. It's Miss Blue.
This is Diana. I had a question for the couple.
That's our sister.
Yes,
right
one
there.
moment.
That's our sister right there.
Caller, can you hear me? All right, you're on the line, girlfriend. What's your question?
Peace, family. My question goes to Chantel. I was trying to figure out basically how did you feel when your sister wife came along? Like, once you accepted that this was going to be the arrangement, how did you develop a relationship with the sister? Did you go out of your way to try to accommodate her, or was she more trying to make sure that you were cool with her, or did y'all meet in the middle?
So Chantel, she didn't make it out today, so it's just Shalon here, and I can answer for my.
Oh, okay.
Much love, sis. Much love.
It's okay, goddess. So for me, what I initially did, I realized that Chantel was coming into an outside situation that we had already established on. So I more or less put all my guards down and all my ego and all my pride down, and was like, okay, you know what? If she's going to be a part of my family, I'm going to accept her with open arms. And I gave her I went ahead and said, you know what, if you're going to be in a relationship with him and you're going to be inside this throuple situation, you have equally the same amount of rights as I do. So there was no hierarchy system. There was no, you can't do this and you can't do that. It was just more of a mutual understanding and a mutual agreement of things that we both needed to understand from both sides of the relationship with dealing with Alex.
Got you. And did she have guards up, like kind of like, you know, nervous to communicate with?
Oh, most definitely.
The guards that she saw you.
Most definitely, she did, because she was just getting to know me as well. We were both strangers to each other, so we had to get to know each other from day one. So it was kind of different after being in a relationship for 17 years of getting to learn somebody else new that you're bringing into your relationship. So we both were kind of at that standoffish mode of trying to figure out each other and our triggers and the points and the emotions that we were going through at that time.
Right. Okay. And last question: Who let their guard down? I'm just asking because I'm literally finally might be. I'm dating poly now, so like I'm finally dating a couple, and I'm finally.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just like. Who put their guard down first?
I don't think it was who put their guard down first. When we initially came together and met each other at that first meeting, we both had to put our guards down.
Got you.
Because we would have never made it past day one. We would have never made it past the first 15 minutes if we both walked in there and our guards were up.
Got you. I got you.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Much love, God.
Appreciate
Always. Love you, family. Love you, family. We gained it.
Street 100 The Heat Radio is Miss Blue. Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Street 100 Radio The Heat is Miss Blue.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, this is Jessica.
Okay, Jessica, you have a question for the Portah family?
Yes.
Okay, one moment. Let me bring you on live, okay?
Okay.
Can you hear me, Jessica?
Yes.
All right. What's your question?
So my question is, my current boyfriend that we've been together for quite a while, and he introduced the idea of the poly thing to me, which I'm kind of in on it. But we're boyfriend and girlfriend. I want to get married, but he wants to wait to get the other girl involved before that can even happen, which, you know, of course, it's not even legal right now to marry two women. But I want to be married first before we even think about doing it. So what do you all think about that, being married first before doing it?
We were married first.
Doing the whole poly.
Yeah, we were married first.
Yeah.
We were married for 17 years. Marriage is always good. The main thing, and he has to remember, the basis is the strength of y'all's relationship. Now, y'all's relationship has to be on point before you even bringing anybody in. One challenge that we had to overcome, we kind of started off a little bit damaged. But bringing Chantel in didn't help or hurt our relationship because we still had to work on each other. So that really, that really has to be at a firm standpoint, because nobody likes to come in on an uncertain relationship, because it just will be disastrous, because it becomes challenging, because now they become a part of your problem. So if that is something you want to pursue in marriage, that is something you want to communicate, be transparent on, and had kind of an ideal goal and try to understand it within each other, how it actually benefit the relationship before even stepping into the world, into this poly world, in that sense.
You're going to have your person who you incorporate into your relationship always questioning where they fall in your relationship. If I don't answer correctly on this side, I'm wrong over here. If I don't answer correctly over here, I'm wrong over there. And so they feel like they shouldn't be a part of the relationship in general because they don't have a real say. They're always feeling like they're stuck in the middle of a tug of war.
Yeah, so the marriage thing, that is if that's something for y'all, because it is good also. It shows strength in your bond and in y'all's relationship, So
okay, well, that's what I kind of thought, that by being married, it would show. Like I said, we've been together for a while, and like you said, we got things to work on, but right now we already know neither one of us is going anywhere. So I feel like
at this point we need to get married. And then once we find that other girl, she's comfortable with our, like how we are together or whatnot, and then she don't have to worry about where she fit in at.
Yes.
I guess that's how I'm going to explain it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So did did they clarify that for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure.
Much love.
She's like, okay. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So that's dope. We still on air.
Just shut the phone line down. Just shut it down.
They might shut the phone down after this.
Hey.
Hi. You have a question for the Portah family?
Yes.
All right. One moment. I'm going to bring you on live, okay?
Okay.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. What's your question? They here. They ready.
My question is, so is Chantel considered the girlfriend to both of them, or would she just be the sister to Shalon and then the girlfriend to Alex?
So she is the sister wife to me, and she is a girlfriend to Alex. So we have two different types of relationships. Me and Chantel's relationship were more building as sisters and platonically. We have the love for each other. We know we would cut for each other no matter what. If she was to call me in the middle of the night, I'm going to pick up the phone, and if she needs me to go to Timbuktu to pick her ass up, I'm going to go pick her up. So we both have that mutual understanding. And then between her and Alex, they have more of a romantic relationship. So they have that understanding.
Okay. And then eventually your guys' between you and her, it'll become kind of what her and Alex share.
It's kind of, you got to let it build organically.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to see where it all structures and where it all falls eventually in the end. You can't expect the same exact thing getting into this relationship with someone who you're just building something with compared to what they've already started building with someone else. So you have to let it build, and you have to see where your relationship is ultimately going to fall. So it might not be on the exact same level as her and Alex, but you know what? Me and her have that understanding and mutual love for each other that we're able to build and grow, and we have that family between each other and all of us.
Unity.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There you go, unity.
Okay. So then, I mean, that's not something, so you guys can grow individually, but also it works for a unit as a whole.
Correct.
Like that, because you guys all have the understanding?
Yes.
Yeah, we all live with each other at the moment, everything, building establishing, we all sleep in the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's getting there.
Okay, that's good. That was my question.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much love.
You guys, this is so hot. Like we never even got to really take a break.
I do got to take the time to sit there and say I love the community. I love that you have. They
let me get ready and go back to He Be Like by Ken the Man,
Oh.
but then I got a call. Street 100 The Heat Radio. Oh, I'm sorry. Street 100 The Heat Radio is Miss Blue.
Hey, I had a question for the college family.
Okay, one moment. I'm gonna bring you on live. Okay. All right. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
How y'all doing?
Finding yourself.
Doing great. So my question was, for the guy, man, whenever it's an argument or something like that, disagreement, like, do you choose sides?
Never. I never choose sides. I never try to really.
No.
One thing I do hate that some males in this position. I heard one guy say, "I don't involve myself because they have to actually kind of build that bond and
work it out between themselves."
But women are catty.
Yes.
They're petty. Because so I never really involve myself. Sometimes I'll come off strong in my suggestion. Like, well, just throw a suggestion. Did you kind of think of this and seeing it from this perspective? You know what I mean? Kind of take some time, let that person breathe. But I have to come to a man soon. You know what I mean? And just throw out there different things that they could sit on. Because the one thing that, I'm not going to just say women, people in general, but women mainly, they are driven off emotion. They are driven off feeling. They'll detach to logic. So sometimes you have to throw that logic in there to actually let them see a little bit clearer. So I'll just throw that suggestion in there, but I'll let that part, after that, let them man their situation. But I never try to choose sides. I never try to involve myself to overextend nothing. I just touch it a little bit and let it be.
Because it's up to us how we're going to mend the relationship once he's given us the insight of where maybe we both went wrong, or maybe where we could view it from a different standpoint. Now it takes those other two individuals to come to each other and let each other know, okay, I was wrong here and I could have done this better there, in order to keep it moving forward and keep progressing.
And they do the same thing for me too. Like if I'm in a situation with either of them, the other one will come to me and be like, hey, yo, fall back a little bit. Did you think about this? And, they'll come correct me a little bit. So it goes all type of ways.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And also, I have one more question. Like, do you have any, like, I don't say disagreements, but, like, problems, like, with people, your family, like, getting out of your business or anything like that?
Certain support, people this is very new at the end of the day. And the challenges, especially me being the male with two females from their family, some of them are like, what is he doing when, it ain't that. And like I tell them, I tell them and I tell my children, no matter what type of relationship or situation you're in, you could keep trying to convince somebody to your blue in the face, but you have to show up within time. Now, within time, they'll understand that this is a real relationship. It's a real establishment. We are really investing in each other. We are really building with each other, and we're really moving as a family. You can't keep going back and forth with someone that's stuck on the issue of this is nonsense, this is whatever. You just have to prove it to them within time. And that's all we do, just to keep our structure committed together as a family.
Okay. All right, that's what's up.
That's
all right. Well, thank you for calling in with your questions. Appreciate that.
No problem. The show is fire, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Nice. Thank you. All right.
All right, man.
Bye. You too. Hey, y'all. We are back in the building. I got the Portah family with me. How y'all feeling over there?
Good.
Y'all feeling good?
Yes.
Man, again, I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. We have so many questions for y'all. We're going to get right into it. I wanted to know, what do you all do in terms of getting tested, since there are multiple partners in this relationship? I think that's important for the community to hear, because everybody is listening and we always got to talk about safety. So whoever wants to start off, go for it.
Tested?
Yes, being tested. If you're going to have a relationship like this, how important is it to be tested, stay tested, or when do you test?
It's very important. Especially because you're bringing in different partners. There's a word they call season. They do that because partners might be seasoned. They're just there for a period of time. You don't know where it's going. You don't know where they came from. And especially being a part of the community in that world, they're dealing with multiples. And like I said, there's cheating and polyamory, so they don't know if that person, you know where anybody's coming up.
You don't know where anyone's
So depending how far you want your sexual desires, you want to go raw dog.
Right. That's real.
They do take precautions, and so they do. So that's why the beautiful thing in these relationships is communication, honesty, and transparency. It's, hey, you know what? Before we take that to the next level, whatever it is, can you, let's make sure we good, make sure we right. There's a build-up. Everybody protects themselves.
Okay. And would you want to add on?
I would say exactly the same thing. Like, if you're going to be in any type of relationship, regardless, monogamous, polyamorous, you should always get tested just to make sure your own sense of security.
Hey, that's real. I mean, because that's very important. If we talk about this, we also got to talk about that, because I know people they'll block that out, and we know that's important as well.
Very important.
Yeah, so I'm glad again y'all was transparent on that. Yes. So I mean, it's so many things about the poly relationship, and I remember when we were talking before we came online, you said that there are so many things that you never get to talk about in this. Tell us a couple of the things that you would like to say in regards to this type of relationship that you never get to speak on.
I would say one thing I want to talk about in this relationship is know that there's many challenges in this relationship. Like I was talking about right before we came back on, was the hierarchy system. A lot of people are not sure of it because they see the pictures. They see the pictures on Instagram. They fall in love with them. Like, oh my God, that couple, they're hugged up and everything. They're doing this, but you don't understand what happens off that camera. A lot of these triads, a lot of these, just in poly relationships, they do have set rules. where the hierarchy system come into play, where the marriage couple might agree on you can't have this, you can't have that, you have to ask for this, and it makes the person coming in feeling kind of insecure, like shit, I'm not worthy of it.
Right.
I can't have
Am I
this.
really a part of this relationship
Relationship
or am I
this
a play
family?
toy?
Am I a play toy? These are challenges we don't see because we look at these pictures and think everything is balanced, everything is good. Those are things that you have to take in notice. So one thing you want to do, that's why I speak of self-love. Self-love with self-choice. If you're putting yourself in this position, love yourself enough to know you have to walk away from the situation if you ain't respecting yourself in the situation. Because some people get tied up in it, and so with so much love, you don't want to walk away from it, especially if you're involved with so much time.
Because you're worried about what you're going to find after
am I going to do this?
Equivalent to.
And it's just to love yourself, mainly in these situations. Because people are blinded to it, knowing that everything's not always going to be peaches and cream.
Right.
You're going to have to unlearn the European culture. I have to explain that because we didn't know what monogamy, the side chick, the mistress. We didn't know that till we came over here and followed this European culture.
I agree.
And it was really built up. Monogamous was really built off for the economic reasons that what they wanted to structure. And I don't like to say the white male, all that.
Yeah.
Stuff, but still, it was created because of that. You know what I mean? Because we live how we live. You know what I mean? And as long as you learn how to live how you're going to live and understand that's just his other woman or that's her other man, because like I said, it could be anything. You know what I mean? It falls to anything. You just have to learn that balance within yourself and have that. People say these relationships are for more insecure women. No, these are for secure confident women because you have to be confident enough to know that you bringing in another individual.
Right.
I
mean,
and you're not training somebody to take your spot.
Yeah.
And that's how it might feel too.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we can't be delusional. Infidelity is at a high rate.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on. So you're kind of living. I hate to use that term. You're kind of living poly, but I mean, you're just living a cheating monogamous. Why not just be honest and just have that understanding with each other and establish and build? I'd rather have my team build with each other than we fight each other. I mean, it makes more sense. And a lot of people don't see that clearly with themselves. You know what I mean? And that's where you got to make sure she getting tested. Is this person getting tested? Because this is where they get.
Because it's one of those. And I think, touching on that, I think some people in relationships, I think most people feel like they don't. One person might want to be that, like let's just say the person that's playing or cheating around or whatever, and they might have come to the spouse and they're just not with that type of situation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess sometimes it's about you being on the same page. Because then you have that situation where she's not okay with it, so he's just gonna continue to cheat and dip. You see what I'm saying? So like you said, y'all got to be on the same page or something like that.
Not only be on the same page, but a lot of people love a beautiful lie.
Well,
if you can get past the beautiful lie and get to the painful truth, and if y'all can work through it, then anything's possible.
Yeah.
And you said hierarchy. So you two are married, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the other young lady that you're in a relationship with, she would be Chantel.
Yes.
Chantel is the one that would. Well, you already said that you guys pretty much. She doesn't have to ask for anything. You equally balanced, you would say.
Yeah.
But so what happened in this situation if she came to you and she wanted to have a baby and extend y'all's family? Then how would that conversation go?
We've already talked about it.
This is our family. We are a blended family. You know what I mean? We're not a separate family. We will raise this child all together. She's helped us with our children. Because me and Shalon had 2 children.
Okay.
So she's taken that role in and came in as a secondary mother or an additional mother. I don't want to say secondary. An additional mother. And anything my kids need, our kids need, they on her line like, yo.
Okay, so you would be okay with that. You would be okay with that.
The one thing I always explain to people, when you get into a poly relationship and the third person coming in does not have children or has not had the time to establish children within their own relationships before, why are you going to take that away from that person coming into the relationship? Or even if they wanted to add to build your family and make it better. Why are you going to take that away from that person? That was the first conversation me and Chantel had. She didn't have children. You know what? That's something that I think every woman should be able to do, is to have children, to experience the full spectrum of
women
being
are naturally
a woman.
nurturers.
Right.
So to take that away from a person that says, I want to
who am I to take that away from you because you decided?
Nah, I just want you for the sex.
Yeah.
I want you for the sex and the income, the extra income, but you know what?
Who am I to take that away from you because you wanted to be? You
can't grow
wanted to
with
be
us.
my third. Yeah.
That's too much. And then you get
Woo,
that.
That's deep, y'all.
You get that, though. And that's why what's crazy, right? Because that's why triads and thruples are kind of frowned upon because it's like, nigga, you got a meal. I'm sorry if I.
No, it's an uncut show. It's an uncut show.
Like, you know, they like what the fuck.
I've been holding back.
Please cuss.
I'm less than. I'm not allowed to be on that level with you as an equal, as someone to establish, someone to bring into this family,
right?
Build with this family, be a part of this family. It fucks with the ego. Like, come on, I can't do that. It should be a natural, organic relationship. You know, just with an additional person. Well, how many additionals you had? Like I said,
yeah, because you said for anyone that's not listening, it goes beyond just 3. It goes to 4, which is called a what? The quad.
You have polyquad. You have a polyq. You have a like it gets deep. Polysolo. Polysolo is someone that has multiple relationships. It could be with 5, 6, however, how many ever they want to, as long as they're transparent, honest, and everybody, is trying to build. You can still have relationships platonic with people, that where there's no sexual nothing, but you have that kind of like, we text each other, we build with each other. Yeah. It's good. You have a secure team behind you. It's just a great establishment.
So the poly solo. So you men that's poly solo. This only works, Mr. Porter said, if your ass is transparent. Yeah, you can't be running around this bitch cheating and shit. Multiple fucking girlfriends talking about I'm poly. Nah, if you ain't telling them other damn women your ass is poly, goddammit. Your ass is a cheating ass dog.
If Tuesday and Wednesday don't know about Monday, then
I like that. I like your way with words.
You just cheat.
I had to put that out there because I know some of my people that be listening will be trying to play me like, oh, so I'm not wrong. No,
you're wrong if you ain't telling everybody about each other.
But you know what the crazy thing is though, right? And it's in this world, it's harder for females, right, to be polyamorous or to be poly. I'm gonna just use that word in turn because when someone finds out they're poly and say they're solo poly or they're open poly, we'll just say open poly, which is I'm able, even though I'm married, I'm able to speak to any male I want. Some married men will act like, oh, well, yeah, I am too. But let me get to know you before you get to know my wife. Whole time be cheating. The wife don't even know he ain't poly. And it's a dangerous thing. Like, it's a fucked up world.
Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? People
a girl be asking, so when am I going to meet your wife?
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, she just still wants us to establish to make sure you're the right one. Or
They'll
play that.
That's cold.
I can see that.
That's cold. That's so cold. So it seems like not only are you all transparent, but I wanted to bring up the flag because not only is it a flag, when I read, it was really, I don't want to say strict guidelines, but you take this very serious. This is nothing to play with. It's not a joke. You're not doing it to make a woman feel low and have self-esteem and feel bad and treat her bad. So can you explain to people about the poly flag and the rules of engagement? I would like to call it.
I won't know too much about it because it was just created by Black Poly Nation. Black Poly Nation. Shout out Devin, Danny. They always know that's family right there. They are the co-founders of Black Poly Nation.
Okay.
This is something they are strongly with and they created and they feel powerful about. I'm still reading and trying to learn with it and everything, but yes, it is for the Black poly community because a lot of people don't know there's Black and poly people around the world. The first thing people say, y'all from Utah? No, we're not from Utah.
Are you Mormon?
Are
y'all from Houston? But y'all from Houston? Okay, y'all from Houston.
Yeah.
We get all kind of crazy questions.
I bet.
Tell them about this. Are you Mormon? Do you
they probably even think maybe
are you
Jamaican,
being held
right?
against your will? Is it okay if you're able to speak to someone?
I was the kind that you just are Kelly. I was like,
wow.
Okay, no, you're not. Okay, whoa, whoa.
Yes,
like you'll be surprised.
R. Kelly was a whole different situation though. I don't even.
But you get your little thing.
Yeah,
it is a different
and
world.
It's equally the same as for the females too. You have daddy issues, you have low self-esteem, they call you stupid, they call you all kinds of you don't understand the dynamics, you don't understand the greater love in this. You're thinking on a one-track mind. Broaden your horizons, open up your mind a little bit before you start calling me names or beating me down or demeaning me in any sort of way.
Well, people don't realize in other countries because Blue would tell you all I watch at home is the History Channel and I try to learn as much as in a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, those kings out there in Saudi Arabia and the Middle Eastern countries, they have a ton of wives and all of them get along. All of them take a share of the fruits of having glamorous dresses and all that. And even in Africa, a lot of the countries, and I like what you said earlier about the about, European culture and everything.
Yes.
A lot of the countries in Africa, it's like one man with like 7 wives, and they all get along together and, kick it, and everything works,
True shit. We lived in an apartment complex. We had a neighbor. His name was Muhammad. Mm-hmm. He had 4 different wives in the same apartment complex.
I believe it.
Weekends, they would go to a laundromat and they will all load up in the SUV and wash clothes for like 12 hours.
But it's so brand new here.
Yeah.
And even though it's so brand new here, it's love is evolving. At the end of the day, and people want honesty. People are tired of the games. You get the games and all the bullshit with it, and this is where you kind of get self-choice. Don't want to be a part of this. Don't want to, kind of see where this goes. And it opens up a lot of options for people, a lot of things for people, and you find yourself loving yourself more to love free. And it is, like I said, the community with Black Poly Nation is growing, and Devin Danny has been doing a spectacular job bringing meet and greets all across the nation. They have New York, Tennessee, LA, and then I think recently he was talking about taking it international to Canada and different other places too.
Okay.
So it is a community that's growing, and he has his hands on it very deep, and I love what they're doing. I always have my support.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, it's like I said, it's so many different things. Like so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on a short break and get back to Hot Girl Summer featuring Nicki Minaj and get ready to wrap it up. But I'm gonna open up the phone lines again in a few minutes so you guys can ask a few more questions before we end it up. That hour went so
it went quick.
Fast. I didn't think it would go that fast, but I'll be back. You're rocking out with your girl Miss Blue on Street 100, The Heat, hottest independent radio station in Houston, Texas. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, it's your girl Miss Blue. Fergalicious. That's my song, y'all. I'm vibing off my new playlist. I got the Portah family in the building. We done had some good discussion.
I
got
my
guest host.
I'm learning a lot.
His mouth been open the whole time. This is the first time I actually seen him like low key learning.
I love to learn. I feel like I'm back in like psychology class at U of H and just taking in so much. Yeah, this is fascinating to me.
We have to unlearn to relearn.
Yeah.
We gotta do.
And one thing I've noticed with all this, you have to have 2 things, like what they said earlier. Number 1, you have to have a lot of confidence and a lot of maturity.
Yes, sir.
We got a call, you guys. Street 100, The Heat. It's Miss Blue.
Hi, Miss Blue. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, you got a question for the Portah family?
Oh my God! First of all, the love.
Advice from you guys in the past, and my question is how many times would you give how many tries would you give a triad as far as the third party not really being on board all the way with all your beliefs and your practices, and how can you tell whether they have ulterior motive or not?
It'll be hard to actually tell if they have ulterior motives. I mean, you kind of see the red flags, especially how they're dissing or how they're maneuvering. That's why the key part with this is always going to be communication. And in the transparency, you really can't really bring amends and try to bring a balance to y'all's relationship. Then you kind of know when you got to step away or when you got to let it kind of go. Because their ulterior motives are there, you're going to see them. Like, hey, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to build this. I understand you might not feel comfortable with this. Well, how can we actually reach the middle? To find amends for each other, bring a balance towards each other. It might not be exactly what you want, but working with someone to try to bring a balance in your relationship with each other will kind of show in a positive, route where it's going to go. But if they don't want to and they're just all against it, then you kind of have to step away from the situation. Like, okay, maybe this is not for us.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when I met my husband and we were just dating, I grew up in the Caribbean, and it's very prominent in the Caribbean, so I brought it to him, and his first thought was, oh, threesomes, just to look at his face and the tone of his voice, Yeah, that's the first, I'm like, so I had to stop him in his tracks even before he said the words. So I'm like, no, it's about building community, it's about sharing your love with just more than one person instead of what's the sense going back and cheating and, running around and, because we both go out and I'm like, oh my God, babe, she's so beautiful. We have that kind of open relationship, but it's kind of tricky with us having children, and then someone else with kids, and then the age demographic. And recently, in the past couple of years, I've realized it's before having a poly relationship, any kind of poly dynamic was shunned upon. So now these days, I got to make sure that it's not anybody that's just trying to be part of the quote unquote trend or think it's cool.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, and that is a challenging part. We were just discussing that while Sam, it's hard for that because you did get a lot of people that are just falling for the trend, don't know the challenges, and then walk away from it, kind of wanting in their way. Yeah, it is very hard to decipher who's really with this and who really has an understanding, the practice, and beliefs in it. So I do understand that. That is very challenging.
And those people weed themselves out really quickly, and you can start seeing the red flags right away that they're not in it for the stability and the unity of it. They're in it for ulterior motives.
Yeah, so right now we're just pacing ourselves, and, you know, I'm continuing to follow you guys because I just love the love that I see that you guys share with each other. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Wow.
Yeah, we got much love for the community. The community is, I can't express how much support. It gets challenging, right? Like I said, we get a lot of naysayers, a lot of people that doubt this, don't understand this. So, and then some family members, of course, you know, they have their opinions. So to turn around and see how much support that we are impacting in the community and how much support we're getting from the community.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
overwhelming. Yeah, because we all know family can have a say so even if you're not involved in nothing like this.
Oh, yeah, I do.
You know, all the talking and just shut up. Damn, say the hell out of my business.
Let me be.
Yes,
genuinely love me. Give me that unconditional love.
Right, regardless of what decision you decide for your life.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody is different. So. But again, like, y'all been so transparent. I know y'all have heard so much different stuff. I know we talked about that before you guys came on, but you know, one thing I believe in is respect. Yeah. Though, so I don't believe in stepping on nobody's, you know, toes and being disrespectful, but I definitely had questions and y'all answered them, and I appreciate that. I mean, what we talked about things that people don't know about poly relationships, but is there any type of advice? As you can see tonight, a lot of people was really sound like they was actually calling more for advice. Did y'all get that vibe?
We deal with that with a lot.
Do y'all get that a lot?
We get a lot. Our DMs are always open to that. That's the purpose that we try to do these interviews and we try to go on there. It's mainly to speak about the challenges before people could understand that, you know, even though you're seeing them, you're still going in the right direction. You're going to meet those because we have to, again, unlearn to relearn. So you have to come again, deal with those emotions, deal with those challenges to kind of learn how to deal with them down the line. It's not going to get easy real quick. It's not just going to flow, transparent and be great, peaches and cream or whatever it is. You're going to have those times where you hit the wall and you're going to be questioning yourself, is this the right thing? And it's just us to be transparent and let everybody know, we dealt with those. This is how we kind of overcame that. We had to come to this understanding, but you're on the right path. It's just we're structured in our old ways. We're structured in what we usually know. Like us, we were in a monogamous relationship, And
I think that's the hardest to conform from being monogamous to turning into poly. At least for myself, it was.
Right.
To open up the idea,
We
joked about it, was there about it, we communicated about it, but like when I stepped out with Chantel for the first night, coming back home, she was drinking. She was, oh man, I don't want to throw in her little fit, but of course it was understandable. This was new. I just let my husband go out with, and do this. So it was a lot of things that she has to deal with personally. Me, it was, when they go out, I'm like, shit, go ahead. Make that.
Because you already know, though, they're not going to talk to other guys or try to bring anybody else to the relationship anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And then it's a lot of shutting down what people say on the outside. So you're able to build your own confidence from within, because people will get to you from the outside.
I bet.
I bet. Try to sway you or...
Yes, and they always have something negative to say. If I have a lot of people who speak positivity to me, I have a lot of people who always throw some salt in the game and speak something negative and try to pick it apart because they don't feel the love is genuine.
I can see that. I mean, and so when it comes to, so is this it? Because we talked about like the quad. Would you guys be open to adding somebody new You see what I'm saying?
That
Or do you
would
just?
be a
Oh, you said
That would
no.
be a no,
That's a stiff
negative.
no. Is that a stiff no?
That's going to be a hard no.
Okay, well, that's the answer then.
To me, it's just, and then like I said, I deal with Chantel, Shalon, my daughter, my son. So those are 4 personalities that I do deal with a lot. And then my family extends to here, to Taylor and to Kanisha. Like I said, and I help them with their growth. To Taylor, she's a model, follow her on Pleasure T.
Pleasure T.
And Kanisha, she's a model too, but like I said, you can see her on the Ken the Man video doing
Miss
this.
Amy Nicole right there.
Amy Nicole. Yeah, you gonna see her in the video. They be like, who's she? Like, I'm not big into music, man. He be like, make sure y'all look for her. But yeah, so I help them too, because we all have businesses that we're trying to grow. So already with that, I'm overwhelmed. And of course, I'm still always trying to help the community, trying to put my hand in everything else. So adding anybody else, look, that's
a stiff no. Yeah, okay, so y'all don't be in a DM after this interview trying to get on board. They not with the quad, the 4, right? No, it's just these 3. So hey, it's just you. I'm gonna get on you.
What I do? What? I've been a gracious co-host.
Yes, you've been gracious, but you usually just dive into it. That's.
Ask away.
He has not lost a smile the whole time we have been
fuck
here.
smiling, goddammit. Ask these damn questions that the people want to know.
Okay, this way. I had a busy weekend.
Cheesing.
I didn't have enough time to go on and do my in-depth research like I like to do. So this is my research. And everybody, if it's not a caller calling and asking a question that I had, then it's you.
I done asked the questions. Okay, I'll take that.
Well, that answers that,
I'll take that. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to let you off the hook this time.
Thank you.
But so like I said, when it comes to this, I feel like I told you off camera. I'm telling you now. I think y'all should have a reality show.
Most definitely. We are in the talks with production.
Okay.
So maybe a possibility down the line. We might can't
Something
really say.
that we might be
Something might.
That would be that would be interesting because when I see it, we see the love and hip hops and it's we see the cheating and stuff like this. This is not that situation.
No.
So people, I feel like the ratings would be up because people is dying to see.
And it's something that
what
people
happens.
can actually learn from. You know what I mean? Like
I think what's most shocking is first of all, you get if down the line, like when we do expand our family, you're gonna see 2 multiple women, that might be baby mothers. Well, will be my baby mothers getting along with one individual, not dividing the family, but blending the family and establishing and giving more love in one household. Where do you see that at? You don't see that nowhere.
You don't see,
It's always nonsense, always fighting, always, you can't get along. These are our children, regardless if I have children with Shalon. Well, I have children with Shalon, and if I ever have children with Chantel, you would want them to get along. That's brother and sister. You would want the mothers to get along. That's, regardless of the hate for me, if this was a monogamous relationship, can sometimes tear those situations apart where you see 2 baby mothers fighting all the time. You know what I mean? Well, they ain't gonna go over there and still, I don't like her, and they don't even know why they don't like her.
My baby
they don't even
can't
know why
stay
they don't like her.
at
They don't
her
want to
house.
with her.
Right.
Don't even know nothing. Obviously, they like the same thing because y'all was his same choice.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't
Y'all
know
picked the
that.
same Y'all picked the same
A whole different
nigga,
story, right?
Yeah. So it shows something different. This is something different. It's very beautiful, and I'm glad we got the opportunity to blend our family together and expand our family, and show everybody that this is possible, especially over here in the States. You just have to be true to it.
All right.
True and confident.
Yeah,
absolutely.
True, confident,
man.
Yo, we're here to elevate.
If
you in the poly world, we elevate our women. I don't know. When I was monogamous, you know what I mean? When I talk about I was fucked up, I was toxic. Man. I would be nonchalant about everything. What were you doing? You know what I mean? I felt like I controlled her. I felt like I owned her. I felt like, this is my property. But we're taught that, right? You know what I mean? The father walks the daughter down to the man. This is the new man. Like, I done raised her to this point. Now it's your job to take care of
her from
and you
here.
hear me? That's mine over there. You have to learn that it's not yours. It's whatever that belongs to them. Right. You know what I mean? And that control, those insecurities, I had to learn how to grow out of, especially being in this situation that you have to actually be open and let a person be themselves. And because you don't own nobody. Let them love themselves, love yourself, be secure with yourself. That's why in this world, you have to be confident enough to let a person just move freely, knowing that they genuinely love you unconditionally. The whole new child.
That's real. Like, I really appreciate you all for coming to tell y'all story. Y'all for the promo, we all been like promoting the show and stuff. So I mean that's dope. I hope you guys was listening and downloaded the app because it was a lot of information. It's been very informative, and I'll stay posted to y'all story too, and stay in the loop. And we'll what we talked about too, keep us in the loop with that because that's the manager and he already said that was cool. Said, so we will be all seeing each other again.
Most definitely.
So, absolutely.
I don't know why I looked over there and told he learned so much though. I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you for everybody that called in.
Yes.
Thank you. Everybody that called in. Before I go, I need to let my mama know. Shout out to Raynetta.
Hey, Miss Raynetta.
Shout out to Chantel, even though she couldn't make it.
Yes, Chantel.
My daughter,
that's cool.
Alexis, and my son, Sean.
Yes, the family, Kanisha,
my
Taylor,
light
everybody.
bright Amy, Nicole, and the girl Pleasure T.
Like I said, right, when we take her on interview, she be like, I'm Pleasure.
Ooh,
take your ass on now.
Well, she gotta say it like that. That's her name. You know, she gotta say it
She
sexy
sell
like
it.
that. Okay,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
sell it.
But you know, in all this, I mean, like those two girls, Kanisha and Taylor, I would have never been introduced to them outside of Chantel. So I'm very grateful that they're inside of my family. I love them as much as I love Chantel, and they rock with me just as much as I rock with them. So
That's dope.
So I said,
and what's y'all Instagram? Because I know I know y'all got a lot of followers, but some people is definitely gonna want to know that's listening where they can find you guys and stay posted.
Find us on Portah Family. That's where you find PORTAH Family. You know, and feel free to ask us questions. Sometimes we might not answer right away because we do take some time. You know, we've been busy, but most definitely, you know what I mean, we're here to educate and show people this is possible.
Yes.
You know, it is possible and it is great.
It's very possible.
Oh, man, we appreciate you guys so much. It's your girl, Miss Blue. You're tuning in to the Miss Blue Radio Show on Street 100, The Heat, the hottest independent radio station in Houston, Texas. Y'all know what it is. Hey, it's your girl, Miss Blue. Man, we had a hot one. Tonight. Oh, we had a hot one, didn't we, Ish?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. We had the Portah family. They are in a poly relationship, and they came through and shed so much light. So I hope you downloaded the app because I've been promoting that for a very long time. These past few days, it's just been nonstop. And my topic tonight was the poly relationship. Ish, could you see yourself after all this information that we learned today? Could you see yourself in a poly relationship?
You know what? I've been thinking about that this whole time. It's one of the reasons I've been quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested, but as I said when the guests were here, I don't think my maturity level is up there yet. Just being honest and real with myself. I don't, because I get jealous too, and when I'm in a relationship, I have a hard time remembering one birthday, one anniversary. You know what I mean? And then if I'm in a relationship with multiple people, then that's, 2 or more birthdays I got to remember to keep up with. 2 or more anniversaries I got to keep up with. And it's like, nah.
So your ass just worried about not being able to remember a motherfucker birthday. That's that bull.
Just balance
you is insane.
And then again, just my maturity level. Like
I can respect that though.
And then I'm the kind of person too. It's like sometimes with me being a Scorpio, sometimes we just won't be left alone. You know what I mean? It could be everything could be fine, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I don't want to be surrounded with nobody.
You know what? I would feel so sorry for those two. Yes, because your mood.
I'd be like, you know what? All of a sudden. I just want to go take a walk outside. I don't feel like being bothered with nobody. Everybody just leave the house. Just y'all go. Here's some money. Go see a movie or something. I want the house to myself. Just want to be left alone. You know
what? I mean, but because we heard like the good, the bad, and the ugly. See, me on the other hand, so I was telling my friend Ish, I don't like sharing. Period. I have siblings, but I feel like the only child most of the time. Even my brother would tell you that. You act like you're the only kid. Like, I just feel like that. Like, I don't like to share shit. No, I'm serious. So, my kids ask for food. I'll go buy you your own bag of chips.
Oh, yeah,
I might give you a few little sprinkle of chips, but I don't like sharing. So for me to share my spouse, in my relationship, my marriage, and just me, my marriage is very sacred to me. Mm-hmm. So that's not something that I would be interested in ever. I don't have the attitude, and I don't have I definitely don't have the mind frame for something like that. And I'm very traditional. Yeah. I'm very traditional, like old fashioned, young, but old fashioned in terms of what I feel like marriage is and what it consists of. And I just see that being so much drama, and I don't even allow, like, my mind frame is so set on my husband. I don't allow myself to even wonder or like somebody else or get close enough to even think that person is cool and I could leave him for that person. Yeah. And everybody is different. I'm not knocking anybody. That was very informative.
Oh, absolutely.
That was very
I
informative.
Commend their maturity, their confidence, and what I love the most is transparency, is sitting down and outlining what is allowed, what isn't allowed. Like they went over, having, kids isn't allowed and all that. And I commend that. But personally, my maturity level isn't there. Then now I think about it, it's like too, like my temperament isn't there. Cause like if I'm in a relationship with two women, they're both getting on my nerves. You know me, I'm a Scorpio. So it's like when my temper gets to that, normally I'm a mild-mannered guy, but it's like, when I get to that level, and it's like, you know what? Both y'all out. It's just like, it's like
you a damn mess.
It's nah. I couldn't do it, but I commend those that do.
Yeah, you can never know so much in this life, because I learned some shit tonight. Like I knew, like we were saying, that a lot of guys they have poly solo, and that is when a man is dating multiple women. He's in a relationship with several women, but he's honest about it. And a lot of these guys are poly solo, and they're living poly solo, but they're cheating. You're not telling the truth to these women and telling them that I date multiple women. That's what we said. But remember, he said that there are a lot of men that have poly solo traits and they cheat, and they're not open, and they're not telling these other women that, hey, I'm dating you, and that shit's not cool.
No. It's really not.
And I can see where then he was even saying how, in a relationship, like a man might meet a nice lady and he might pretend to be a poly. This was ridiculous, but he might tend to be in a poly relationship with his wife, and his wife don't know shit about this woman, and he'll lead her on saying and pretending, oh, well, my wife not ready to meet you, and the other woman who's in this poly lifestyle is thinking this man is really a poly, but he's really a hoe ass
trying to
a hoe ass.
Trying to
get a little
bitch. Side woman there, I get
you heard what I
said? Yeah.
He cheated just to be doing it.
I was thinking like that would make for a good comedy skit for someone to do on YouTube.
Oh, no, fuck comedy. Movie.
Yeah.
They should make a poly movie about somebody pretending to be poly, and then the wife don't find out. Oh my goodness. He gonna make me write and direct the movie.
You know what? I'm gonna get with my people, my lawyers tomorrow, like, hey, I need that copyrighted because someone's going to listen to this and try and do it and beat me to it.
I just told your ass I'm going to try to write it.
Well,
you need to get with me to write it. Let's write it.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to take credit for it. It's going to be my production. And get
my name is going to go on it too, though.
Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there somewhere. Don't worry about it. But it's initially my idea because I'm going to say first that should be a skit. I said that first.
Okay, but you need to borrow my name so people can know that I had something to do with this. That's what the fuck I'm saying.
We'll put your name on it somewhere. Don't worry about it. I mean,
This is that bullshit. This is why Scorpios be on my hit list.
I went to the Suge Knight School of Business. Okay, so that's how.
That's crazy. Nikki Houghton on Facebook said, I ran into that. Someone saying they were poly all the while he was married. Wife didn't know. That's a damn shame.
I believe it.
When Mr. Portah said that,
yeah,
I was like, no way. I mean, because you see guys cheating and stuff like that, but you don't never see nobody pretending to be. But I guess that's because I never knew about poly relationships and that, you know, like people are actually into it.
Well, I only learned
he says a whole community of them.
Yeah, I've only learned about poly in the last, but this is 2020 now. 2016, because there's one of my cosplay clients I go to the comic conventions with. She's in a poly relationship. You know, so I don't want to put her business out there in case she doesn't want, but yeah. So it's like, you know, following her and knowing her and, you know, looking at her post on social media and stuff on her private Facebook page and then just hanging out with her at conventions and working with her at photo shoots. Yeah. And it seems just like with our guest here, like, you know, everybody's happy. Everybody's on the same page. You know, sometimes they all go out for, you know, drinks and dinner and stuff. Sometimes it's just two of them, you know, and so forth.
I mean, she got a strong mind because I would end up on an episode of Snapped.
Yo, well, you know, it's like that old saying: everything ain't for everybody.
That ain't for me, baby. Yeah, that is. I mean, I'm one of them people. Is like I'm so big on like attention anyway.
You are. That you are.
Shut your ass up.
Oh, it's true.
I don't mind sharing the limelight like when I have to on the stage, but. He say, shit, I'm not that bad. I just, I like the spotlight. I grew up performing and all that good stuff, and I like the camera on me. Like, so, and that's how I like my man, like, totally into me. Like, obsessed. Just with me, though.
Yeah.
So, it just wouldn't work, y'all.
Not with Brenda over there, you know.
Yeah. That wouldn't. Oh, but that was so interesting.
That was like,
and they got a flag, a new poly flag, and all that good stuff. But look, so my next topic, and if y'all want to talk about it, that's cool. Still the poly, because that was so interesting. But I'm waiting on Taz the realist to see if she's gonna call in and talk about it, because this was actually something that she tweeted on Twitter last week, and I said, "Damn, that's like dope." Yeah, my cousin say I would be your cellmate on Snap. Yes, baby, because I don't got I love my man too much, but but no, look, I'm saying Taz the realist said that she has an issue with women that has an issue with men being honest about not wanting to settle down and be committed and forcing them into a relationship. So Taz saying with women, she tells these women up front that she don't want to be with them in a serious committed relationship. Okay. And then they try to force her into being in a relationship. And she was just all stressed out. And I'm just waiting on her to call because why do women do that?
That's not cool. Like, you know, if someone tells you what they want to do for us relationship-wise, either you're going to accept it or you're not. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's not cool. I mean, that's like with me now. Like, I'm literally happily single, have been for a minute. You know, don't try to. I mean, if someone comes to me and is like, "Oh, you look like you seem like a nice guy, you're successful, you're this and that. Would love to be in a relationship with you." Like, hey, that's fine. Thank you for the compliment, but no, I'm happily single. Don't force me to be in no relationship, and I want just the opposite. You know, like nah. People got to learn how to respect other people.
But you know what? I think sometimes, like when it comes to women, because I'm not gonna lie, okay? I think sometimes when it comes to us women, we see a guy that we like, okay? Or if you're a girl that dates girls, you might see a girl that you like and she got so much potential to be that one. But you wanted this and she's saying, nah, I don't want to be in a relationship. And then we kind of force it, but it's human nature, because a woman, when especially like a go-getter, like she wants something, she want to go get it. So she's not trying to force it, but she's trying to get you to see or maybe conform to what she wants. Yeah. Or hoping that you will see the good in her to want to settle down. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying I have seen that, and I have been in that situation where you're trying to get somebody to like you, or hey, you know, I will make a good this, or I will make a good that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they like feel pressure. But I believe that if a man is telling you straight up and being transparent, I don't want to be in a committed relationship, and you pushing it, you got to blame that heartache on yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Wholeheartedly.
I mean, because that's not cool. You setting yourself up for failure. If a guy is straight up telling you, I don't want to be in a committed relationship with you, then you need to just move on.
Yep.
I mean.
But some people out there, and men do the same thing to women, you know.
What?
What you're saying, a woman approach a woman doesn't want to be in a relationship. She's focused on her, you know, goals in life or whatever. And then the guy's constantly pushing, you know, and on either end of the spectrum, it's, you know, it's just not cool. Like you said, you're just cruising for a bruising, you know what I mean, so to speak. Like, you know,
he say cruising for a bruising.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's good going to come of that when someone's constantly telling you no. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship for whatever reason. You know, whether if you're in school or you're focused on your career, or maybe you're taking care of a sick relative, or you're just like me, you're just happily being single. I can do what I want to do when I want to do. I mean, take me, for example, like the pictures I take of models, like, can't no regular normal women handle that. She's going to accuse me of cheating on my client with my clients or something, or going to want to be at every photo shoot or harassing my clients.
But all your clients got big booties. So they they are going to be like,
and
you act like you got regular ass.
And you know what? And all of my clients,
you
though,
a mess.
are already, if they're not married, they're in extremely long-term relationships.
That's true, because I'm one of your clients.
Yeah, I mean, from you
That's
to
true.
You know, Christina McDaniel to Erica.
You know what, Kim?
Yeah, Kim is married.
Oh,
Kim,
damn!
yeah.
So you got a respectful client list.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right about that.
Pretty much married. I can't think of a single client of mine that is not married or in some long-term committed relationship.
Yeah.
And really under common law would be married, you know?
True.
So,
I mean, well, you got a point with that. Somebody, hold on. I'm trying to
read the comments and stuff.
Nikki, honestly, when my husband and I were just kicking it, I felt myself doing that and fell back really quick. But when I fell back off of him, he actually asked me to be in a relationship, started courting me. Everything flowed in a direction I couldn't imagine it would have if I forced him. Girlfriend, that is so real. You know what? I had the same situation when I was dating Jermaine. So I had a crush because I knew Jermaine since high school.
Yeah.
Like, for real, high school. So when we got out, like, you know, situations happened, and he's not the person that I actually had married Mario's dad or whatever. Jermaine went off to college and all that good stuff. And I got caught up with Mario's dad. And then when that didn't work out, we found each other through a mutual friend, and then we linked up. And I knew he was a nice guy, so I was like not even, like, maybe a month later, like, trying to get in a relationship, and he was just like, slow your roll.
Hell yeah.
And I was mad at first. I was like, what the fuck you mean slow my roll? He like, because like this type of stuff take time. Like, if it's let it be natural. Not that he not liking you and not saying he not wanting that, but just let it flow natural. And when I did, it worked like it should.
Yeah.
And so
some things got to be organic.
And that's what I tell my friends now. Like, if that man is saying no, wait. Well, first off, if he's saying no, period, like he don't care, he not into no relationship, period. It's really a sex thing, and he that transparent. You out of line for pursuing that man, and trying to make him and force him into a relationship. That's on you. That's on you. But Nikki, thank you. Oh, Nikki, I said Nikki, thank you. I looked down in a couple of seconds. Nikki say that was me. LOL. Nikki boo, it's okay. You sound like you a go getter like me, girl. And
I tell you, Nikki's aggressive.
Okay. I'm aggressive, Nikki. I'm aggressive too.
She's aggressive.
I be like, I want this, right, but you know what? If the guy, I try to be respectful. If the guy say, but look, you married, I'm married, we got the guy we wanted, so obviously, you know what I'm saying, it worked.
Yeah,
because we paced. It worked without any being physical though, ish.
That's what matters at the end of the day. Hey.
It's always, I know, but I be knowing what he thinking. Everything is not about being physical.
No, that's not.
You sure?
I'm positive. I'm very positive. I'm 60% positive.
No hitting involved.
I'm fairly positive.
Nah, but you know what? While I have you guys listening, please, when you get a chance, opportunity, download the new Street 100 The Heat radio app. I'm telling you, I've had it
on my phone now.
See, I've had it on my phone for a few days. Thank you. And we got so many great shows on this radio station. But what I really like about this app is I'm a big stream person, so I multitask. So I might be on YouTube while I'm on the phone. I might be on Facebook and I'm listening to the app, and you can still stream and do anything you want while listening on the app live. So that's dope. So go Street 100 on that. They put in a lot of work on this app. So please download it so you can tune in to my show every Tuesday without having to log into a computer if you're not by a computer. I hope y'all was listening to that earlier show, baby. That show, y'all, I could not breathe for every time I got ready to ask a question. Thank you, Nikki, for downloading the app. Every time I got ready to ask a question, the phone line rang. I answered so many calls. I feel like I was back in a call center again. You almost said, I work for Street 100. I almost said my legal name. Right. I almost said my legal. That phone was ringing off the hook. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, it's something you have to shut it down just to do a proper
Yes, I had to shut it down so that I could get my questions out. Because these people, they drove like over an hour to get here. So, y'all know Houston, it take from any point of anything, it's like over 30-something minutes. I don't know who the fuck built Houston and why they did that with these freeways.
Just keep spreading. That's the thing.
Okay, well, why can't it be like, you know how it's New York? Mm-hmm. We need like a Houston.
What do you mean?
You know what the hell I mean. We need a new city within the city. It's not big enough for the capacity of people that we have.
Just the freeways and everything got to be redone. You mean
I don't fuck the freeway. I want a whole new Houston built.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. That's not how engineering works. Shit.
He said, get the fuck out of here. They need to start at Sugarland. They need to start in Sugarland and expand Houston and do it all over. Man, this is the old Houston. They need a new Houston.
Science stuff is close to me. Like, that's not how engineering and stuff works. Like, just
I can wishful thinking. It's too many people out here. He does not like that idea. I say we need a Houston. What's wrong with that?
That's not how cities work. That's not how city planning works. That's not how. Nah. It's like that old Geico commercial. It's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
You know what? I could wish, I could hope I had the rights. Okay. Man, but so yeah, we talked about poly relationships and the Portah family, Portah. That's where you can find them on Instagram if you want to follow up on their story, because it's a big community with the poly relationships, and they are running it. And we talked very lightly about possibility of a reality show. So I think that would be something cool for them, because a lot of people is, more than likely interested in something like that or hearing about it. So yeah, that's pretty dope. So I am getting ready to go on a break. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I'm going to see if I can go live and find Taz so she can talk about this subject and introduce some new music. But thank you. Every Tuesday, I'm doing this 7 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I just really appreciate you for tuning in and giving y'all feedback. You're rocking with your girl, Miss Blue, on the Miss Blue Radio Show on Street 100 The Heat, the hottest independent radio station in Houston, Texas.